Good
Good morning. This is Judy at Artistic Artifacts, and I'm with Andy today. And I'm going to do a couple of announcements and then turn it over to Andy. Be quick because we have lots of things to learn today. Um, there are classes that we have going on. You're going to be really interested in the L890 3 days with Gail Yellen, and Andy's going to get you all excited about the L890. So we will absolutely love to have you. If you do not already own one and are interested in finding out, we will have a machine for you to use. So you just need to let us know when you register for the class. We will make sure that you have a machine. So you don't need to have the machine before you take the class, but we'll certainly help you take one home with you that day. There's also a Serger Club that Andy is doing that we've pre-recorded and is available to you at any time. And it's a wonderful project-based group. And, you know, we kind of say to you as you're buying these fabulous pieces of equipment, the Bernina machines, is you have to use it. You have to use it. It's like software. You have to use it. And the more you use it, the easier it becomes. And it's just, it makes all the difference in the world. So we've set up the two clubs. One is an embroidery club. One is a serger club, serger overlocker. I don't know what I'm supposed to call them.
Yep.
But, and then we have this 3 days with the L890. So that is all awesome. We do have still openings in the Creative Summit. It's fast approaching. It's a wonderful community for teachers, great classes. There are a couple of things that are sold out, but there's plenty there to interest you and be part of the summit. So that is, and then please check our workshop and events areas. We've got the Shop Hub coming up. We have Jane Sassaman coming to teach. There's all kinds of things going on here that we would love to include you in those. And I think I got it all. Did I get it all, Chris? Okay, I got it all. Oops, nope. Oh. 25% off Oh, sales. How can I forget sales? Oh,
The important
geez.
things.
I know. So we are almost to the end of March Madness. Thank you, because I am not a basketball fan. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? March. Huh? Oh, it's not that. Mad about March. Sorry, because I have March Madness at home on the TV. But
That's
Matt, yes, I know that's trademark. That's basketball. Sorry. Mad about March. So 25% off Wonderful machine threads. So this is a great deal to stock up. We also have our recorded thread Thread Talks lectures that are with Wonderful and us. Those you can sign up for at any time because they are recorded. These are great threads and at 25% off. Awesome. We have an end of bolt sale coming up at the end of the month, which means AA pre-cuts and end of bolts are on sale. And please sign up for the newsletter. That's the best way to keep in touch with us. Send it out Monday and Wednesdays. So, all right. Now I think I got it. So I'm going to hand it over to Andy because we're all kind of like really psyched to see how you do this. I love Log Cabin. It's so diverse about how you sew them together, whether you do them in a pattern or, you know, me, I'm kind of like all over the place. So I just close my eyes and pick up fabric.
Indeed.
I don't even try to match them up.
You don't have to.
Okay.
And the great thing about Log Cabin is that it is truly sewist choice.
Yeah.
So thank you, Judy.
All right. It's over to you.
Welcome everybody. Great to see you. Please your comments in the chat where you're dialing in from. We're so glad to have you join us. So today I'm going to be showing you a little bit about Wonky overlock. I do have contrasting. Yes, your mic good. Okay. How's that? Okay. So we're going to be using the L890 with the. I've got contrasting thread using the designer series thread from Wonderfill, but you could use coordinating thread to match your strips, or a light color thread that if you were using using leftovers. 4-thread overlock with standard presser foot 9014 overlock needles. So nothing too different about the setup for the serger. And this stitch is is available on any serger. It's a standard 4-thread overlock. So even if you don't have the L890, you can certainly do this. So what I'm going to start with is again, I'm using strips today, but everybody's got that leftover scrap of fabric that from a project. And so if we've got the stripology ruler from Creative Grids. This is a great way to use or to cut, make your own strips. You can just cut the 2.5 inch strips here, and then you've got your 2.5 inch strips that you can put in a box. And when you want to do a project like this, just like Judy said, just grab, and then you'll have an eclectic scrappy log cabin. So again, we're going to be using strips today. I'm going to be using this is one that I've started using the dark center square, and then we'll be going around. I did cut the center squares from a strip, again using my stripology ruler. Just put the strip down, line up on the line. And the nice thing about the stripology ruler, with all the numbers here, the squares are the 2.5 inch mark. So it's super easy to just work down the and bang out a lot of 2.5 inch squares in no time. And so I've got all my squares. I've got I divided up my strip set into lights and darks. The lights I've got in one pile, and then I've got the darks in the piles, so that as I go around the log cabin, I'll be adding. So the way that we start this, and I haven't cut any of the strips, so that I'm just going to take a strip, line them up, to start, and then just serge the edge, and then I'm going to cut the strip at the end, and then I'm using this little pressing tool from Lori Holt, So Emma, to just to press my seams. I am pressing away from the square, so that may mean that I'm going to be pressing toward the light. That's not an issue here. I'm going to scooch over. And again, I've got with the 6mm stitch width, so I'm going to be lining up right here on this first mark on the presser foot, and that's going to line up, and so it's going to give me a perfect 1/4 inch seam. And then I'm just going to lift the presser foot and sew off. Cut my thread, flip it over. Now I'm just going to cut my strip like that. And like I say, we're going to press Just do a quick press here at the table. Open it up if the fabric cooperates. Do a quick press. You know, and we hear a lot that people are concerned using the serger that their seams are going to be bulky, and that's, you know, that is certainly a concern. But it's, you know, once you know, with the 4-thread overlock, it actually compresses the seam more than you would think. So, and I'm doing today, you know, matching rounds, but you could certainly use any light on your light. And then again, we'll just sew off. And if you were, you know, if you were going to chain piece this, you could put your strip on the bottom, and you could have all of your darks on the top, and just, you know, sew all the way down. So I'm going to, you know, move this over back to my pile. Get my, you know, press that. And then we would continue, you know, so again, right now it doesn't seem that all that wonky. So the way that we'll make it wonky is, you know, switching over to the one that I've done earlier. So I've got, you know, the next round is going to be here. And the way I know that is that I've got 2 seams that are exposed, or that are open here. The other 2 you know, sides only have one seam. So to make this wonky, I'm going to line up, instead of lining up and going square straight down, I'm going to you know, put it at an angle. So, you know, that's, you know, a little bit, you know, right there I've got it about 1 inch, but, you know, really you can do as much or as little as you want. And then I'm going to line up with the strip on that first mark again. So I've got my strip and the mark, and then I'm going to start it, and the knife is going to cut off this extra, and then I'm just going to line up at the bottom, and we'll just sew all the way down. We'll sew off. We'll cut, flip it over, and I'm gonna just, I don't need to be too precise about my cut there, because it's gonna, we'll press, and we'll press it open, and now we start to see the, you know, how it's become, you know, you see now I've got a little bit of an angle, you know, there, and we'll just continue that. Now I'm gonna, you know, again, now the next you know, is over here. So we're going to be using the next color, or the darker fabric. So again, I'm going to you know, put it at an angle, and when you can put it at an angle either, you know, toward the you know, either way, you know, so you can. So I'm just going to put it there. And again, this is an area where you can really experiment, and, you know, and try different angles, try different techniques. There's no wrong way to do this, you know. And when I was working on that Bloom and Grow, I said to myself, well, let's make this as wonky as possible. I wanted the wonkiest log cabin, and I think I achieved that. Alrighty. And then we just continue the, you know, all the way down here. Again, I do like to press that. You know, and again, this is something you can do with any serger. You know, and you can, and again, I've been going kind of one way, so I'm gonna line up at the at the top, and I'm gonna line up so that my angle is coming in this time, just for something different. And again, each time I cut the excess off, so I'm not having to go back. Another technique to use is we do Creative Grids does have a Wonky Log Cabin trim tool, and so if you don't have a serger and you want to that's a great way to also make a Wonky Log Cabin. But this way, it's one less step because I've got because I'm already cutting off that excess. And again, give it a little press. And the next round will be so that you can see how this is starting to shape up. And depending on how large of a block you want to get, you can just continue to add strips with the darks and the lights, going around that center square. And then when you're ready to when you reach the desired size that you're looking for, if now you're going, okay, well, what do I do with this, Andy? Well, you come back over here to your to your stripology ruler, or you can do this with just with a square or whatever. But you can line up. And so for this, I can cut, I've got my 0, so I can cut an 8-inch block, out of this right now, and to square up, and and then I could, so I could square up my blocks at the end so that it can fit into whatever quilt I was working on, or if I was making this for as the center of something to do in a pillow, you can square it up as you need to, and then go from there. So somebody was asking about the seam roller. Again, that's the quick press seam roller. This is a new item that we've got here in the store, from So Emma. And so it's a quick way to so that, especially if you're not wanting to go back and press your seams every time, that you can use that quickly. I did want to we can like say I was going to continue with kind of going from a light to dark on my logs, but you could literally pick up any scrap of fabric anytime you wanted, and go that way. Again, the sample that I've got here, I had selected a number of different colors of fabric based on the instructions from the Bloom and Grow quilt, but we were using these black and the light center squares, and so this I was able to chain piece each 4 of the black, 4 of the white in relatively quick time. And this this quilt also, it had there's these little flanges. So you can also, if you wanted to have a little bit more interest, you can add the flange. So this technique is talked about in the Big Book of Serger Quilting. This is and these books are on special this month. There's a discount for that. And if you're interested in the Bloom and Grow, we do have the Bloom and Grow pattern book, so that you can, if you want to really explore all of the capabilities of the L890, including because these these flying geese, you embellish your fabric, you've embellished the triangle fabric before you start making the flying geese using the cover stitch, which is a function on the L890. So you can do that. But this is there's some great resources for the L890. Again, like Judy was saying, we do have we've got our first Serger Club video that's going to be released this month. That is for a strip quilt. So I'm using 2.5-inch strips to make a crib size quilt. And I'm actually using the strips, and we're inserting small contrast fabric, little bricks. So I'm calling it my strips and bricks quilt. But again, you can make the quilt whatever size you want by adding more strips, and it comes together really quickly. So, what questions do folks have about the L890, about the wonky log cabin technique? How and again, Gail Yellen will be coming in May. Gail is a Bernina ambassador and educator. She is out of Connecticut, and she has a great YouTube channel. That you can search. She has Serger tip clips that she puts out every month, and she also has a monthly live that she does. So you can really get a lot of great tips from Gail, and having her here with us at Artistic Artifacts for 3 days. I feel really fortunate that we get to have her, and she's going to share so much knowledge with us. It's going to be great.
And for that 3-day, they don't need to own a L890.
That's correct.
If they let us know when they register,
right? So
we'll have them available.
Yep. So if you again, if you want to take the class with Gail and don't have an L890, when you register, please let us know so that we can have an L890 available for you to use. And then so that you can take full advantage of, and you can use, because Gail does a lot of embellishing with decorative threads. She also has a tool called the Thread Fusion that fits on the thread spool of, and allows you to use multiple 12-weight threads in this in the looper, and especially in the chain looper for the cover stitch. And that's how you can get that those decorative embellishments on the using your serger.
So one question we actually had, and I know the person has signed up, is, oh well, I have a L860. Can I take the class? And it's like, yes, come, we'll have the L890. A lot of it would be applicable to that, but you could also see the capabilities.
Absolutely.
And the difference of what you currently have versus the machine.
Right. And the biggest difference between the L890 and the 860 and below is the chain stitch and cover stitch. And cover stitch, so if you look at the hem of a lot of knit garments, if you see 2 rows of parallel stitching, and on the back side of it there's a kind of a serged edge, it's encasing that raw edge, that is cover stitch. That is, that's one application, and there are so many other ways that you can use the cover stitch. And with Gail, you actually will end up, you're going to put your workpiece face side down so that you get the cover stitch on the right side of your fabric. So that's something that you do have, you have to think about as you're using it. And we also refer to the chain stitch as the serger straight stitch, because with the serger straight stitch, your serger turns into a straight stitch machine. So you can, if you wanted to do a wonky log cabin, and you wanted to piece a quilt, and you wanted to open your seams because you were worried about bulk, with the straight stitch, you can. it will allow, it's not putting the overlocker stitches on to encase the edge of the fabric. So there are so many new applications with the L890 that it's taking Gail's class, or signing up for the Serger Club, you're gonna be able to get more familiar with your machine, more comfortable with those advanced features, and really take full advantage of this wonderful machine. Well, thanks so much for coming to the Facebook Live today. Again, please drop us a note in the chat if you about where you're from. We'd love to see how far the community reaches. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, please remember to like and subscribe to the Artistic Artifacts YouTube page, and sign up for the Artistic Artifacts newsletter. You can get sign up at ArtisticArtifacts.com. Scroll to the very bottom, and there's a field to sign up for the newsletter. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.